Last. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the final defense of Mr. Alan R. Wadyong, candidate for the degree Doctor of Education, major in Educational Management. His paper is titled Administrative Support, School Environment, Teachers' Performance as Determinants of Organizational Climate, Input for Management Framework. So welcome to the presentation of our last candidate for the degree Doctor of Education, major in Educational Management. The advisor is Dr. Vanessa Casanova, the Dean of the Graduate Studies of the Occidental Mindoro State College. The method specialist is the chair of the Bids and Awards Committee, Dr. Wenceslao Paglia. The chair is yours truly. The external expert is the Dean of the School of Education from the Department College of Bulacan. Content specialist is the Vice President for Research Development and Extension, Dr. Christian Anthony Agodaya. And another content specialist is with us, Dr. Norma Q. de Paunatan, GS Faculty and former Vice President for Academic Affairs. Mr. Wadyong, you have 15 minutes to present the findings of your study. Good luck.
So thank you very much. Happy Friday afternoon to everyone. Once again, welcome back to San Jose. I am Alan R. Wadyong, and I'm very much excited to share with you the result of my study, which is all about administrative support, school environment, teachers' performance as determinants of organizational climate, input for management framework. But before that, good afternoon once again to my chairperson, Dr. Elvis Iscares, to the content specialist, Dr. Christian Anthony Agodaya, and of course, to Dr. Norma Q. de Maunahan, to my method specialist, Dr. Wenceslao Paglia, and of course, to my advisor, Dr. Vanessa Casanova, and of course, to our external evaluator, Dr. Spulito Heroes. Good afternoon po. So, Philippines development relies heavily on its education system. In any education system, teachers are really essential components according to Ricard and Collector of 2016. Despite technological advancement, teachers are still in high demand because they provide real learning opportunities through their motivation and of course their work. That's according to Arifin of 2015. If teachers perform well, schools are likely to succeed. And my study are really incorporating the different variables, namely we have administrative support, school environment, teacher performance, and those are trying to determine my dependent variable, which is the organizational climate. And the respondents of my study, I've conducted this to 350 teachers in San Jose District's Division of Occidental Mindoro, and my instrument is survey questionnaire and using descriptive correlation. So the proponent makes the decision to carry out this study in order to analyze and of course identify some key components or points or areas relating to the organizational leadership, school environment, teacher competency or performance that may contribute to the advancement of schools' effective performance. So this is my conceptual framework. So, as shown in the figure, the study determined the significant relationship between my three independent variables. Namely, we have administrative support, second, school environment, and then the third one is teachers' performance. These variables are in relationship or trying to determine the organizational climate. On the first box, I have here the first independent variable, which is administrative support. In terms of the different indicators, I have leadership, motivation, resources, teacher development, rewards, and also recognition. On the second, we have school environment, and I have two indicators for that, physical environment and also the psychological environment. For teachers' performance, I have three, the quality, the efficiency, and of course, the timeliness. And my dependent variable has something to do with the organizational climate. And I have four indicators, namely communication, reward system, career system, and also the planning and decision making. So the arrow between the independent variables means that the study determined a significant relationship of the three independent variables, namely administrative support, school environment, and teachers' performance of the public school teachers in San Jose North, East, West, and South. Let me go to the result of my study, starting off with my statement of the problem number one. As assessed by teachers, what is the level of administrative support of school head in terms of my first indicator, which is leadership? So the result is a very high level of leadership support by the school heads to their teachers, as revealed by the mean of 3.78 and a standard deviation of 0.36. This indicates that leadership support is provided most of the time by the school heads to their teachers. Leadership support is mostly manifested in assisting teachers to develop their strengths with a mean of 3.83 and trusting them to be able to make decisions in the classroom with a mean of also 3.83. According to Titans and Devils in 2010, determined that school heads who display strong leadership qualities are more likely to have teachers who perform better. However, it is least observed with school heads in missing fairness and integrity in decision-making with a mean of 3.72 and in guiding teachers to become masters in their fields of expertise. According to Khan and Wahid of 2019, school heads must have strong leadership skills and the ability to communicate effectively with students, parents of course, and as well as with teachers. Without effective school heads, schools may struggle to meet the academic standards, and teachers may not receive the support and resources they need to succeed. Now, with the second indicator, with motivation, so respondents or the teachers assess that school heads' motivational support is provided to them at a very high extent, as revealed by the mean of 3.72 and a standard deviation of 0.39. This is evidence in a way that school heads support to inform teachers about the department in our school policies that a mean score of 3.82 and a standard deviation of 0.39 described as a very high extent. On the other hand, their support to offer helpful suggestions and informal feedback to increase expertise among teachers with a mean of 3.78. It is expected because it is one of the school head's role to ensure that teachers know what these policies and procedures are and to hold them accountable for following them. That's according to Miador of 29. Still on the motivation, on the other hand, it can be gleaned that the rest of the items are practiced still at a very high extent, as manifested by the mean scores ranging from 3.63 to 3.75. However, global trends indicate that teacher motivation has been falling in recent years, leading to teacher shortages. Without proper teachers' motivation, the educational system will be jeopardized and its implications will lead to poor quality education and outcome. That's according to Pre-Han of 2016 and also from UNESCO to CPA of 2017. Now, for the third one, for the resources, administrative support of school head in terms of resources, the overall mean of 3.64 described also still with a very high extent implies that school heads of San Jose District support in terms of resources is fully provided to teachers by the school heads. The school head's abilities in allocating sufficient fund to purchase resources and supplies and providing them with the needed financial support for the school's projects, programs, and activities through the school fund get a mean score of 3.70 and 3.67 and a standard deviation of 0.50 and 0.53, both described as very high extent. This is supported by a study of Su, Perzer, and Cardelia of 2011. When teachers receive resources support from their administrators, they are better equipped to handle the demands of their job, and they are able to focus on providing quality education to their students. Still, meanwhile, it can be observed that the remaining items were also rated as very high extent, as indicated by the mean scores ranging from 3.59 to 3.65 in a standard deviation ranging from 0.51 to 0.56. Benofina et al. Of 2012 suggests organizations must continually assess their resource allocation strategies to ensure that they remain effective in achieving their goals and can help organizations, of course, to achieve their goals and succeed in today's environment. For SOP number 1, still for 1.4, as assessed by teachers, what is the level of administrative support of school heads in terms of teachers' development? As evaluated by the teachers of San Jose districts, the school head support to teachers in terms of their development is demonstrated to a very high extent. As Klinger of 2004 notes, administrative support is essential for the success of teacher development programs. These support can take many forms, including providing funding for professional development opportunities, offering also release time for teachers to attend seminars, workshops, and also create a culture that values ongoing learning and growth among educators. In the same sense, administrative support in terms of teachers' development is mostly felt by the teachers when they were inspired to share their knowledge with faculty members, prioritize their needs to attend professional development seminars, and being encouraged to obtain higher degrees. That's what I'm doing right now. 3 items which got a same mean of 3.83. Tical et al. Of 2011 for your notice that effective administrative support involved not only providing teachers with feedbacks and guidance, but also advocating for their needs and interests, of course, including the development of the teachers. Now, for the rewards, the level of administrative support of school heads teachers in terms of rewards has overall mean of 3.52. The standard deviation of 0.54. This guide also was very high. This result reflects school heads to create a development plan for teacher success and evaluate their performance or accomplishments fairly and recommends for promotion that mean score of 3.63 and 3.65 in standard deviation of 0.58 and 0.57 respectively described as a very high extent. According to Barrera et al. 2010, development plans allow teachers to identify areas of strengths and weaknesses, set achievable goals, and track progress over time. By engaging in ongoing professional development, teachers can improve their pedagogical knowledge and skills, ultimately leading to improved student outcomes. Among the items rated by the teachers, school heads provide a reward system for teachers that the lowest mean score of 3.40. However, it's still in a high extent. According to Ibrar and Khan of 2015, rewards can be used to reinforce positive behaviors in students, increase their confidence and self-esteem, and cultivate a sense of responsibility and accountability. In this context, rewards can take many forms, of course, including the verbal praise, certificates, also trophies, and other tangible items that the school heads are giving to their teachers. Now, for recognition, the last one for the SOP number 1. School head support in terms of recognition is used to a high extent. With an overall mean of 3.68, standard deviation of 0.44, the result implies and highlights also the importance of recognition as a key factor in teacher retention. According to a study conducted by Stanhouse and Anthony of 2020, recognition is really a crucial factor in employee engagement and also retention. The study found that when employees receive recognition or when they feel valued, appreciated, and motivated to continue performing well, it is highly manifested, the recognition, in acknowledging the work well done with 3.73, and in praising teachers' good work with specific positive comments with 3.72. And on the other hand, it is least manifested in visiting teachers' classroom, often in recognizing developments in what they do with 3.60 as its mean. According to Alcius Reed of 2019, classroom visits provide opportunities for teachers to receive the feedback and constructive criticism which can help them identify areas for improvement. And also, classroom visits will help teachers to enhance their teaching skills by observing other teachers' best practices, for benchmarking, and learning from them. Now, let's proceed to SOP number 2. What is the status of school environment in terms of, I have 2 indicators. The first one is physical environment, the second one is psychological environment. Let's start with the physical environment. So the finding or the result of the study that the status of the physical environment of the schools in San Jose districts has the overall mean of 3.40 and a standard deviation of 0.50 described only as good extent. So this is very much observable in item number 12, which states that the schools encourages the teachers to personalize and develop their learning environment with a mean of 3.62 and standard deviation of 0.53. This is emphasized by the study of Parsons and Taylor in 2011, wherein creating an engaging learning environment is really an essential aspect for teachers to improve engagement among the teachers also and learners. Now, for psychological environment, the result of the study states that the status of psychological environment in San Jose districts is in a very good extent with an overall mean of 3.69. That's according to Cleveland, Hines and Campbell of 2012, creating a positive psychological learning environment is really essential for facilitating effective learning outcomes. Positive emotions such as interest, enjoyment, and curiosity are known to enhance learning and improve retention of information. Now let's proceed to SOP number 3. This time it is something to do with the level of teachers' performance in terms of the 3 indicators: the quality, efficiency, and the timeliness. Starting off with the first one, quality. The result is, it has an overall mean of 3.79, described as a very high extent. Implies that teachers have really the ability of not only imparting knowledge, but also creating an environment in which students are motivated to learn, feel valued, and are able to achieve their full potential. The result also shows that teachers achieve quality teaching. And among the items under quality, the respondents rated, monitored, and evaluated learner progress and achievement using learner attainment data as the highest, with a mean of 3.85 and a standard deviation of 0.37, described also as a very high extent. Ekumoto in March of 2007 emphasized the importance of using data to make informed decisions, stating that data-driven decisions making is a process that involves collecting, analyzing, and also interpreting data to make decisions that will improve teaching and learning. On the other hand, the rest of the items are practiced also to a very high extent, as manifested by the mean scores ranging from 3.74 to 3.82. These results indicate that teachers in San Jose districts have performed exceptionally well in terms of quality. The second one is efficiency. The result is demonstrated also to a very high extent with an overall mean of 3.71. Well, this indicates that teachers have been performing also, just like in quality, they are also performing in terms of efficiency, which is really a promising sign. This is highly portrayed with items number 1 and 2, as teachers submitted the required lesson plans and performed classroom demonstration teaching, highlighting the mastery of content and its integration to other disciplines, as well as in using the different teaching strategies that promote reading, writing, and also the numeracy skills with the same mean of 3.85 and a standard deviation of 3.36. This is in consonance with Gibson and Demo of 2012 that says that several factors contribute to teachers' high efficiency, including their knowledge of subject matter, teaching experience, and also instructional strategies. There is also another study that argued that timely performance, the third one rather, is all about timeliness. Just like quality, efficiency, timeliness goes with it as well, having a very high extent. This indicates that in San Jose District's timely performance from teachers is really a priority for the success of the educational process. According to Flakiger, Vigil, Pasco, and Donaldson of 2010, argued that timely performance benefits both teachers and students in various ways. For teachers, timely performance means that they can keep up with their lesson plans, ensuring that they deliver, of course, the curriculum within the allocated time frame. And also timeliness plays with a critical role in teaching and learning, and it's really essential for teachers to prioritize it in their performance of their duty. Timeliness is highly manifested in this item that states that teachers consistently participated in the different meetings, the learning action cells, focus group discussions, to discuss teacher-learner feedback to enrich instruction across the required number of sessions within the school year with a mean of 3.75 and standard deviation of 0.42. As stated by the UNESCO, teacher participation in these forums can provide valuable insights into the needs and challenges faced by schools, including also the students and teachers in the according to UNESCO. Now, the fourth SOP. What is the level of organization quality in terms of the 4 indicators: communication, system, career system, planning, and decision making? Starting off with the first one, which is communication. So the result is a very high extent with the overall mean of 3.60. So among the 4 indicators, communication, reward system, career system, planning, and decision making, it is communication that got the highest mean. And it is highly manifested in item number 7, states that I clearly understand how I can contribute to the general goals of the department. According to Winchgard's, Dimech, and Merckx of 2018, alignment can lead to increased student achievement, improved teacher collaboration, and a more efficient use of resources. The overall mean of 3.31 for the reward system, the second indicator of organization planning, is now in a high extent, which means that school heads in San Jose districts have implemented a reward system that is effective in motivating teachers, improving their performance, and also retaining them within the organization. According to McAllen of 2010, who stated reward systems are designed to encourage teachers' behavior that is aligned with organizational goals and also objectives. Reward system is highly manifested in item number 1, which states that good work is recognized appropriately, having a mean of 3.61, described as very high. According to Ibrahim of 2015, the reward system is a set of incentives and benefits. The third one is a career system, and the result is it is in a very high level, having a mean of 3.55. According to Rianto, Henry, and Herdisha of 2021, positive career system can provide employees with a clear understanding of their career paths, opportunities as well for their growth and development in a sense of direction with personal or professional development for them. Now, the last one is planning and decision making. So the result states that it is in a very high extent, having a mean of 3.54. So the highest mean, or it is highly manifested in an item that states that all information is gathered before planning and before making decisions. According to Raman of 2015, effective coordinations requires clear communication channels, shared goals, and a clear understanding of each department's role and responsibilities. Now, among all of the independent variables, which among the independent variables will determine the organizational climate that is this SOP number 5? So, according to the result, all of these independent variables, administrative support, school environment, teachers' performance, determine the organizational climate or predict the organizational climate as supported with beta coefficients of 1.171, 0.98, and 0.541. And among the three indicators or variables, the best predictor of organizational climate is teachers' performance. Measuring teachers' performance is really essential in understanding how it will impact the overall or the organizational climate of the school. According to Selamat and Samso of 2013, evaluating the effectiveness of teachers is essential for the development of schools' organizational culture. Now, let's proceed to the last statement of the problem. Based on the analysis, what management framework may be proposed? So, in today's world, schools are increasingly recognizing, of course, the importance of a positive organizational planning as a crucial element that determines the success of the school. It is essential for education institutions to prioritize these determinants and take proactive steps to sustain them. So here are the important elements of this framework. Of course, in the Department of Education, as all of the support is really coming from our other department, which is the Department of Education, setting the direction, the outcomes, and then the funding. Of course, the support will be given to the school heads. He or she will be the one to monitor, to support, and to intervene with the support coming from the Department of Education. And that support will be given to the teachers, and that will be manifested to the learners who are the end user or the end recipient of all the programs, projects, and activities given by the Department of Education. So I have here an important concepts or aspects of this framework, starting off with the drivers, I have 4, followed by the measures and targets, and then I have here the different processes along with the framework. We have plan, execute, monitor, initiate, plan, execute, monitor, evaluate, control, and also the closure. And in the middle of that framework, of course, the objectives will be there. And all of the inputs, incorporating all of the dependent variables. I have here the administrative support, the first variable that I have, the school environment, and of course the teacher's performance. So these inputs or these variables will serve for the school heads to have a management direction that will serve as the output. And everything of this will be helpful for the organizational climate. And then after that, of course, we have to go to the review report, in order for us to change or to alter some of the result or findings of that framework, and of course, that leading to the outcome. So let's discuss it one by one, starting off with the drivers. So organizational climate in educational institutions is influenced by various factors, of course. So this study revealed that the needs of the learners and teachers must be included or must be taken into consideration, of course, the community expectations and of course the priorities of the Department of Education. Understanding the learners' needs and teachers is really crucial in creating a positive learning environment that fosters growth and development. Meeting community expectation is also essential in building the trust and confidence in the institution. Moreover, aligning with the Department of Education's priorities ensures that the institution is meeting, of course, with the standards and guidelines set by the department. So these drivers will play a crucial role in shaping the culture, the values, and practices of an educational institution. So it's really important for educational leaders to recognize and address these drivers to create a positive and support organizational climate that fosters learning, growth, and development for all stakeholders. So these drivers will really fuel the entire framework as everything will be considering, of course, these drivers. Next, the management framework processes are organized into 6 process groups that provide a systematic approach to project management. So the 6 processes include initiate, it's the first one, followed by plan, execute, and then monitor, evaluate, and control, and then the last one is the closure. Initiate here defines and authorizes the project and how it will be managed from the beginning until the end. It will serve as the roadmap, or how it will begin the framework. The next one is plan, of course. After initiating, you have to plan a set of activities. So plan defines and refines objectives and develops course of action required to attain the project's objectives and scope. The planning phase focuses on developing a detailed project plan outlining task, timeliness, and resource requirements. So the plan will incorporate all of the strategies, all of the plan of action from the very beginning until the end. So that will be included, of course, in the planning phase. The third one is execute. Here, it integrates people and other resources to carry out the activities for the project. So after planning, after coming up with all of the courses of actions that you're going to do, of course, you're going to execute all of your plans. So the execution phase involves putting the plan into the action. Next, we have monitor. So after executing, of course, you have to monitor whether these activities are going well or you need to do some alteration, you need to do some changes. So that will serve in the monitor phase. It allows for ongoing tracking and adjustment to the project's progress. So it depends upon the findings or on the ongoing findings that you have, whether the project is going well or not. So that's the time for you to monitor and for you to adjust the plan itself. Next is control, evaluating control. It defines and identifies variances from the baseline so that corrective action can be taken when necessary to meet project objectives. So in evaluate and control, you have to consider the baseline and then what's the development of that so that you could be able to do some corrective action, you could do some changes regarding the project. So you have to evaluate and control. So do some actions regarding the ongoing findings of your project. And then the last one is closure, formalizes acceptance of the result, brings the project to an orderly end and transition to the next project. It's either you drop the project or you continue the project or re-implement the project. It depends upon, still on the findings of the project. It depends upon the result of the project based on the result of the monitoring, evaluating, and control that you have done for your project. Now let's proceed to the objectives. So here are the objectives of this framework. First, enhancing communication channels between administrators and teachers. Second, create a safe and inclusive school environment, of course, including the second variable that I have. Provide professional development opportunities for teachers, that's also included, and promote a culture of collaboration and teamwork. Now let's proceed to the inputs. Here are includes the strategies to be implemented incorporating or taking into consideration the different variables that I have, namely administrative support, school environment, and teachers' performance. So on that framework, I've provided different strategies based on the findings or based on the result of my study that the school heads might use in order for them to support their teachers, in order for them to have a positive organizational planning. So for administrative support, the first one that I've provided is organization, of course, must provide training and professional development opportunities to teachers. It's just a sustenance since the result of the study, it says that it's very high for San Jose districts. So this includes courses on communication, time management, and of course, technology. The second one, the second strategy, organization must implement effective communication channels to ensure the teachers are informed regarding the updates, the changes, the department orders, and the announcements from the Department of Education that the teachers or the school heads need to know. And then the third, organization must provide teachers with the necessary resources. Of course, teachers cannot perform well without the resources that they need. So still, that is included in one of the strategies that the school heads might adopt. They must provide, well anyways, we have fund, we have MOOE. So these funds will be used for the school heads to use in order for them to provide the resources that the teachers need. In addition, it's also important to recognize and reward teachers for their achievements and contributions to the institutions. That's of course included also in the strategy. These might be in the different forms. It might be bonuses, tangible products, bond papers, things. So many forms that will really recognize or that will make the teachers feel they are valued, appreciated by their school heads. And then resources are also necessary to sustain positive organization climate. So in terms of training and development, so teachers must also be supported with a supportive work environment. Next here, create a positive learning environment. This can be achieved by encouraging open communication from the school heads to the teachers. By implementing these strategies, of course, we will be achieved to improve the quality of administrative support. That's for the first one. So the second one, the second input, of course, my second variable, which is the school environment. Just like in the administrative support, in the framework, I've also included the different findings of my study regarding the physical and psychological environment. So for the physical environment, a well-designed environment can encourage physical activity, reduce stress levels, and promote social interaction, as supported by the different RRLs that I've provided in the manuscript. Just like in the administrative support, I've already included different strategies, just like include policies, procedures, and guidelines to ensure that the school environment is really safe, healthy, and conducive to learning. Second, develop a plan for improving the physical environment requires collaboration between community members, policymakers, and public health professionals. As the study concluded or revealed that, having communication with these external stakeholders will make a great improvement in the school. Next is to prioritize the maintenance and improvement of their physical environment. Especially the result says that it's good. It's not very good, it's just good. So we have to prioritize the maintenance and improvement of their physical environment. This to ensure the welfare of our students and of course the welfare of the teachers. Next is ensure adequate lighting that can significantly improve the learning environment as it reduces eye strain, improves concentration, and reduces behavioral problems. Control noise is also one of the strategies that is included in the framework. Improve the air quality in schools, especially starting with the COVID-19 and also especially with the weather nowadays. So that's really important that we have to improve the air quality of the schools. Aside from that, one of the strategies also included is to utilize colors to improve the physical environment. Use calming colors as suggested. So by implementing these strategies, school heads can create a healthier and more supportive physical environment. So once the school heads might read this, so they could have an idea of what they're going to do with their teachers in terms of supporting the physical environment of their school. Now let's proceed to psychological environment as indicator of school environment. So one of the strategies included, of course, to identify the psychological environment. First, we have to conduct surveys, assessment of students, teachers, and parents. Aside from that, I've also incorporated provide resources for mental health support. Do we have mental health support program, especially in the COVID-19? We have a lot of mental health support coming from the Department of Education. We have webinars, so on and so forth. Also create a culture of inclusivity and acceptance, and also establish a positive school culture that fosters social and emotional learning. Aside from that, we have to provide teachers and students with opportunities to develop a sense of belonging, such as through clubs, sport teams, and other extracurricular activities that will help the psychological aspects of the teachers. Implement mindfulness practices to help teachers and students manage stress and improve the emotional well-being. So by creating a positive psychological environment, schools can support teachers and also the students' academic and personal growth. The third one is the teacher's performance. This is the best predictor of organizational climate as revealed by my study. So here are some of the strategies included in the framework. So goal setting component involves establishing clear and measurable objectives for teachers to work towards in their teaching practices, which align with the school's overall goals. Of course, anything that we do inside the classroom that will be connected to the general and overall goal of the Department of Education. The performance evaluation component involves assessing teachers' performance based on specific metrics, including student outcomes, classroom observations, and self-reflections. That's also happening. So we just have to maintain or to sustain, since we have IPCRF, we have classroom observations happening from time to time in the review quarters. So we just have to sustain those aspects. Finally, the professional development component involves providing teachers for employment opportunities for growth and development. And we also have to provide coaching to our leader teachers. Now for the outputs, so this will serve for the school heads to manage well the teachers and to direct them to have a very good performance. Organizational planning. Here are some of the strategies. Of course, we have to provide teachers with necessary resources and support to do their jobs effectively. Actively listen to the concerns and feedbacks, of course, of the different stakeholders in the classroom or in the academic community. Establish clear expectations on the part of the teachers so that they would have a guide on what they are going to do and what they are being expected to perform. So it must be established. And it is important to establish a collaborative culture in the schools. And of course, administrators should provide opportunities for professional development, as also revealed by this study as a very important factor in order for teachers to perform very well. So after this, we proceed to review and report. Of course, through regular review and reporting can help identify areas that we need to improve, which areas are really lacking, so that is for the review and report. And of course, the overall outcome at the end of this, after implementing the different strategies of all the indicators of all the inputs, we will be able to receive or to come up with a conducive environment that really promotes excellence and success among teachers and of course our dear Filipino learners. Here are the conclusions of this study. Based on the findings generated from this study, the following conclusions were made. Of course, in schools of San Jose districts, administrative support in terms of the different indicators, namely leadership, motivation, resources, teachers development, rewards, and recognition is really provided most of the time by the school heads to their teachers. Second, schools in San Jose districts provided a positive physical environment for teachers and students. On the other hand, teachers are provided with a supportive and positive atmosphere by their school heads. Third, teachers in San Jose districts are capable of delivering quality education to their students, prove that really efficient teaching practices are being employed, and other factors are really in place, and they understand the importance of punctuality in their profession, as revealed by this study, as it is really very high. Fourth, administrative support, school environment, and teachers' performance of public elementary schools in San Jose districts determine the organizational climate, and of course, teachers' performance as the best predictor of organizational climate. Fifth, Organizational climate of a school is determined by a combination of factors such as administrative support, school environment, and teachers' performance. Like just like what I've said, the best predictor of organizational climate among the three indicators or variables, it is the teacher's performance. Sixth, and the last conclusion, the study has shown that the organizational climate in schools is really a reflection of various factors. Therefore, a management framework that can help schools create a positive organizational climate was proposed. Now, let's proceed to the recommendations. The first one, since administrative support teachers is suggested to be focused on rewards and resources, as the findings of the study, these two indicators are found to have lower extent of implementation. So it is recommended that a reward program must be employed, incorporating a balance between extrinsic and intrinsic motivators. So, on the other hand, as evidenced by the lower extent of implementation and resources, it is recommended that school heads should consider various strategies, such as allocating sufficient funds for resources and collaborating, of course, with community partners or external stakeholders that will give donations or that will voluntarily help the school in their projects, programs, and activities. The second recommendation for the school environment in terms of physical and psychological environment. The study revealed that lack of classroom furniture and ICT equipment must be the priority concerns of the schools. So it is recommended for the school to invest, of course, in improving the physical environment, since it is the result of the studies is just good. So here are the recommended activities: implementing measures such as regular maintenance, upgrading facilities, and providing a clean and safe space for everyone. On the other hand, lack of mental health and psychosocial support programs for teachers and schools is a major concern. It is recommended, of course, to intensify the ongoing efforts. Just like what I've said, the Department of Education is already giving us the psychosocial support, the psychological support. All we need to do is to really intensify and to sustain those efforts by the Department of Education. The study has shown, for the third one, that teachers' performance in terms of quality, efficiency, and timeliness is commendable. The dedication and hard work put by educators have yielded positive results. Therefore, it is recommended that teachers should maintain basic status and continue to strive for excellence in their teaching practices. And additionally, it is imperative that the education system provides support and resources to help teachers maintain their high level of performance. Since it's very high, so all we have to do, all I can recommend is really for sustenance and maintenance of this status. For the fourth one, the implementation of an effective reward system is a crucial aspect of organizational climate. However, the lower extent of implementation of such a system is a concern that needs to be addressed. Organizations should strive to develop a culture of recognition and appreciation for their employees' hard work and dedication. They should also consider investing in training and development programs for their school heads to improve their skills in administrative-based rewards and recognition issues. The fifth one, the study has identified that administrative support, school environment, and teachers' performance are crucial determinants or predict the organizational climate of schools. Therefore, it is recommended that schools continuously invest in creating a positive and supportive school environment. They have also to provide adequate administrative support and enhance the performance of their teachers. Six, based on the analysis, what management framework may be proposed. So to improve the organizational climate, a proposed management framework is recommended for implementation. By adopting this framework, administrator can create a healthy work environment, foster teacher collaboration, improve student outcomes. It is crucial for schools to prioritize the implementation of effective management framework to ensure a positive and productive organizational climate. And by having this framework, they will also be guided on what they are going to do to support their teachers in terms of the variables that I've included in my study, namely administrative support, the school environment, and the teacher's performance, trying to impact or to have a relationship with organizational climate. With that, thank you very much.